Today, I'm going to be naming 3 ways that you can look at failure in order to understand that it is simply a part of success. Hi everyone, my name is Eva Brišejte. I am a mindset and manifestation coach, and today we're going to be talking about failure and why failure needs to be passed in order to reach success. Failure in today's society is looked at with a lot of fear. When we understand that failure is nothing bad, we will not be afraid of it, and we won't let failure paralyze us and paralyze our actions. So this is the first way that you can look at failure. So I want to share a story or an example with you. Let's say you are in a new city and you rented a car and you're driving through the city and you want to find a specific shop. And let's say you don't have your phone with you, you don't have a map or a navigation system. When that's the case and you're new to the city, you will most likely get lost. You will make mistakes along the way in order to reach your destination. You might start beeping at cars, you might take the wrong turn, you might get frustrated during the ride. But at some point, when you think you literally have not found the shop, it just appears and you end up finding it. With goals, it's really the same thing. How are we capable of making absolutely no mistakes if we have never walked the path? There is no way to, make a right turn straight away and find the shop if you have no idea where it is and you don't have a navigation system. How can you reach your potential goal without making a mistake? That's not how it works. Mistakes are part of the process. Failure is part of the process, and you have to go through the failure to reach the success. I believe that there is a reason behind every failure, and that every failure is the potential of it being successful. So the more failure you do or the more mistakes you make, the closer you are to succeeding. This is why it's so bad and so unhealthy to look at failure as something wrong. For example, if you're looking for a new job and you've applied to a lot of jobs and they don't take you on board, it does not mean that you're not going to find that job. What it means is you are eliminating all of the jobs that were not meant to be for you, and with every failed interview, you are coming closer to finding that dream job. And this is truly the healthiest and best way to look at things, especially if you have a bigger goal in mind. Failure is your friend and not your enemy. Failure gives you an opportunity to grow as an individual and to learn something. And maybe you will not learn something straight away, but later on, you can be reminded of that failure and you can later on in your life learn from it. And I believe everything does happen for a reason, including the failures, in order for us to learn or to change up our path, or to go in a different direction. And failure is a blessing in disguise. If you like this video so far, make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel down below and click the bell button to be notified whenever I upload a brand new video. So let's get to the second way that you can look at failure. I personally believe that the comfort zone is a trap. If you are in your comfort zone, and if you are okay with what you're doing, if your job is paying the bills but it's not really fulfilling you and you don't wake up every morning looking forward to your day, ask yourself if you are trapped in your comfort zone and if your goals that you have set for yourself, if they were maybe not big enough. Ask yourself, have you given yourself smaller dreams because you are afraid of failure? Or maybe you faced failure a lot in your life and it really hit you and it really hurt you, right? And you're afraid to take the leap because of the mistakes or the failure that has happened before. What would happen if failure didn't exist? I am the full believer of failure is a part of your success. And the success or the goal that whatever person has in mind can be reached if they, get through the process and get through the failure. The goal will be reached. It's very important how we look at failure and that we continue being focused on the goal that we have in mind. When we look at failure as something positive or a lesson or something natural, then we start enjoying the process so much more. Ask yourself, how would my life change if I didn't look at failure as something negative? How would my life change if I didn't look at the mistakes that I made in my life as actual mistakes? What if I looked at them as a part of my path in order to reach my highest potential? Life and happiness is a perspective point of view. It's perspective. Perspective is everything in life. And this is why having a healthy mindset is so important. You can have any situation in life handed to you. It depends on you how you look at it and what you make from it. You can find the negative in anything. And sometimes it's easier to find a negative and sometimes it's harder to find a negative. But the way you look at something changes the way you enjoy your life. If you look at a key element of failure as not something negative, but instead of something that is helpful, even though you might not know why, but you believe that with every failure, you are closer to your success and you have to walk through it no matter how much it hurts in order to reach your goal. And if you want to find out more about fear and failure, I really do have an amazing book recommendation. And the book is called Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. It's absolutely amazing book talking so much about fear and also failure and how it controls today's society. The third way that you can look at fear is to accept that failure is a part of success and not treat failure negatively. What I believe is that every single word that we speak holds a certain vibrational frequency. Success holds a very positive form of energy. The words I love you are very high vibe words. Failure and what is associated with failure holds a very shameful and negative vibe. And that is because it is used that way. And every single word holds a certain vibrational energy. That is why it's so important how we speak to ourselves, because we ourselves absorb that vibrational energy, and how we look at it and how we accept it. And ask yourself, what would happen if I didn't look at failure as something negative or as something positive, if it might be hard to look at it positively yet? What if I looked at failure as something neutral and just that it's a part of life? It's inevitable. Failure is supposed to happen. And when we are okay with failure, we welcome more success naturally into our lives. We have been programmed to view failure as something that is negative simply through the educational system. We have seen failure as something that should make us question ourselves in our abilities or should hold us back from achieving our dreams. For example, in school, you get an F because you're not smart enough. When that thought crosses your mind, a lot of self-doubt kicks in. That doubt stays there and follows us up through middle school, high school, and college. That doubt can completely destroy our self-confidence. And when self-confidence is destroyed, it paralyzes our ability to take risks because we are afraid of failure. What I'm trying to say is cherish your life. Start looking at failure as no big deal, and you will see your life blossoming with success in every area. And when a person takes risks and gets out of their comfort zone, they are extremely rewarded long term. Because the universe expands, it moves, okay? Constantly moving, constantly expanding, right? There's a lot of movement. The universe does not have a comfort zone, like the actual galaxy, the actual universe, right? Everything that is in it does not have a comfort zone. And I fully believe we are a miracle. We humans are miracles, right? We are the universe in human form. When you really look under the microscope, we're made up of atoms, molecules, and particles, right? Just like the universe, right? And that's beautiful. So if we are a part of really Earth and nature and the universe and energy, why should we live in a comfort zone if the universe itself does not? Are we reaching our fullest potential? And I believe a lot of people are not. And the thing is, it's not about the success. It's about the journey and enjoying the journey of life. What is success as a definition? But it's the journey of life that really needs to be enjoyed. And throughout that journey of life, successes happen, failures happen, and life becomes so much more natural, balanced, healthy, mentally, physically, when the idea of failure that has been projected onto children, onto teenagers, onto adults is like gone or in some way broken down. When we break down the idea of failure, nothing stands in the way of our successes, right? When we see failure as something that is not negative, instead positive, or if that's not possible yet, then at least neutral, and understand in those times of hardship that we trust the process, we have faith, and we stick to it, your success is inevitable, right? And along that path, along that journey, whatever that might be, whatever you desire within your life, life will give you certain things on your plate where you're going to be like, why did this happen? Why did this happen? Things need to happen. Chaos needs to happen in order for life's shifts to take place. There needs to be a storm or there needs to be rain for a rainbow to happen. That's the rhythm of life. That's the law of rhythm, right? And since we are a part of nature, we will experience this law in our lives as well, okay? So chaos is something good. Chaos makes space for new things happening and brings things into perspective and into alignment. And if we work on understanding for ourselves personally, I am not defined by failure, nor am I defined by my successes. I define myself, right? And when you look at failure as something neutral or just a part of success, your whole life starts changing and becoming better in every single way. Your success is inevitable when you change your perspective shift and don't look at failure as an enemy. When you don't look at failure as an enemy, fear starts shrinking, right? The fear is also just the mask of ego, right? But when you look at failure as something that's just a part of the journey, the fear isn't as big anymore. And you open up so many more opportunities for yourself. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I really wanted to share it with you and my ideas and my perspective. And if anything really stuck with you, let me know in the comment section below. If you're interested in one-on-one coaching with me on mindset or manifestation, then just check out my website and you will find that in the description section down below. Also, on my website, you can sign up for my newsletter and get a free workbook on how to find out what your sign from the universe is. Make sure you check that out. I'm sure you will love it. Also, check me out on my Instagram. My Instagram is Your Mind is Heaven. And if you like listening to podcasts, have a listen to mine. My podcast is the Talks with Yeva podcast on Apple Podcast and Spotify, and you can find the link in the description section as well. If you want to get exclusive lives from me where I answer your questions and share more of my perspective on things, then make sure you check out my Facebook group, the Heaven on Earth community. I do lives there very frequently, and yeah, we can totally connect on that Facebook group or in that Facebook group, and you can find that link in the description section below as well. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do that right now. And I want to thank you again for watching this video, and I wish you an amazing week, and I cannot wait to see you next time. Bye.